Well, perhaps we could do something that I really don't care to do that often. Have a conversation about basically somebody else's words. It's a statement somebody else made that I really appreciated when I heard it and could see the truth of it. So perhaps we could have a conversation in this, the dynamics of speaking the truth. The conspiracy of ineffectiveness. It was actually said first by, well, it's not his real name, but he uses the name Warner Earhart. I think Jack Rosenberg or something like that is his name. However, there's a, a truth to that in that we are indeed conspiring, meaning breathing together, to remain ineffective, to stay robotic, if you will, to keep repeating our history over and over and over, to keep going from war to war to war, killing to killing. We can even hear in today's, off in the distance, the bells of the Russians and the Ukrainians and the Ujigians and the Jupahapiyapians, all those people who aren't as good as us Americans. We're, if you're white and you're American and you're all right. If you're brown, you can hang around. If you're black, you got to stay back here in America. So we hear those bells going off about we might want to go over there and kill some more people or get another, as I've said so often, 227 years we have been at war of our 242 years as America. So we're not exactly, we're a Christian nation. For sure, you can tell by the fact that we've been at war for 226 years of our 242 years. That's the conspiracy of ineffectiveness. We all are ineffective. We keep ourselves in a repetitious mode rather than creative, rather than create a new way of being. We repeat our old way of being, have been for thousands of years now. So the conspiracy then of ineffectiveness means if any of us, for instance yours truly, begin speaking the truth, they are to be cajoled, they are to be laughed at, they are to be put into the background, hopefully never to be heard from again, because the greatest enemy to people who care to remain ineffective is the truth, that they really are fighting tooth and nail to remain ineffective, to keep ever repeating yesterday's mistakes, hoping that we'll get a different result today, and then tomorrow we'll do the same, on and on and on, as we have been. The number one mistake that we've all made is that we accepted the world that our parents presented to us. And our parents lived in a world of complete conspiring to be ineffective. And their parents lived in the same world, and their parents on back through Hitler, we just went through the second Hitler a few years ago. And then the original Hitler back in the 30s, and then Trump comes along and copies him. So we've always got copies of copies of copies of copies. Of course, Popo and all the other warring people in our history. Somebody once told me that in our history of being people, human beings, well, we've never really been human beings. We've always been people. We've been at war every 2.5 years. I don't know whether that's true or not, because I'm not privy to all that ever since we were amoebas or old enough to hold a gun or old enough to hold a knife. So is it possible then for me to make this a short video about the conspiracy of ineffectiveness? Is it possible for you to look at your own life, for you to discover that you are the reason we go to war? It's not really if that nutcase Joe Biden goes to war. It's not really him. We elected him. And it wasn't the Bushes and all the other people who went to war that were making the mistake. It's us. We didn't end up with Jim Jordans and Marjorie Greens and Rand Pauls and Tom Cruise, or Jim Cruise, what's his name? Ted Cruz. We didn't end up with those people that don't have a brain that works because we're so smart. We are the ones that elected them. And then we watch them have insurrections and attack 10,000 people attack because of a sore loser, and we just let it go. Just let it go. Because, 70 million people here in America now say that we've gone from January the 5th to January the 7th. We skipped a whole day in there. It didn't really happen. There was no problem there. That gives the opportunity for the fellow to come back and do it 10 times worse. So can we see that there is no them? There isn't any them. It's all us. We are them, and them are us. Is that like Toys R Us? So can we each take 100% responsibility for ourself, 100% responsibility for our life, realizing that we are the robot. We are why we have been going to war. We are the liar. We are the cheat. We are the thief. Those things that, what did Trump say when he first ran for it? He said all those Mexican people that come in here are liars and rapists and thieves. Not realizing that that's who we are. So bringing more of them in shouldn't improve, or what's the opposite of improve? Tear our country down, because we're already that way. So is it possible then for each of us to stand up and say, I am 100% responsible for planet Earth, for the universe? Starting, of course, with being 100% responsible for ourselves and every lie that we tell. The main way of make reparation for the lies that you tell is, don't be too surprised here, is to say, hey, wait a minute. That's my mistake. I lied. I apologize. You see, that removes the lie, and it puts you into the space of speaking the truth. I apologize, I lied, my mistake. Or my mistake, I apologize, I lied. Or any combination of those statements. I wonder, hoop-a-doo-oh-hoop-oh. Who wrote the book of Not So Much Love? There is no love on this planet. There can't be love where violence is. There cannot be love where there's a gun and a killing and a rape and murders. There's no love on planet Earth. If we loved our children, we'd prepare this planet for our children. We would not prepare our children for this planet. Same thing with us. If we loved ourselves, we would prepare this planet for us. We wouldn't prepare ourselves for the planet. A perfect experience is sent to each of you with the consideration that you might find it as a possibility that you live in and from the conspiracy of ineffectiveness. Perfect life is sent to you each. Thanks. If you got